video. It's supposed to be raining. It kind of is, kind of isn't. So, I'm in Weatherford. Technically that's Oaks. But the way the rain's coming, it's sweeping through Springtown. And it's on the, kind of hanging over this way a little, not much. It is raining a little at my house, but not much. I'm already on the bike this morning, so I'm not gonna try to get a ride or anything. Not that there's anything wrong if you feel like that's something you need. It's just, I don't think I need that. I think I'm okay. And that doesn't mean I'm actually okay, that just means I'm comfortable attempting this. I know what the results could be. And I'm willing to make that risk. I think I'm going to post Father's Day video before this one so y'all see me in a really good mood. But it's been a long day. It's sprinkling right now. I'm pretty sure I'm driving right into it, which sucks. But it is what it is. I've already almost been hit twice today since I left work not even 5 minutes ago. Yeah, wet roads, you can see it. So I slow down quite a bit on wet roads because I do have street tires. My tires are made for like hot, dry days. Now, I understand a lot of people pull over and they'll sit under a tree, and there's nothing wrong with that. I'm going to take my time. I'm going to do it safely. I'm not in a rush. I'm just going home. And sometimes I have to convince myself that I'm not in a rush. Yeah, you can see how bad it is behind that car. Oh, I think I'm gonna pull over. It's a lot wetter than I thought it'd be. Actually, I'll probably limp it. You'll see what I mean in a minute. I'm still doing about 50. I'm gonna go easier since there's big trucks. This could be a lot worse. Actually, I'll probably post this one first because this is more relatable for most people. Like if you're in the Houston area, it rains all the time. Georgia, I don't know how much it rains. I know it's always humid. But so I'm actually almost to my turn, if y'all remember the route. So I'm just gonna go easy. Putt-putt. I'm doing 46, 44, about 40. They're hitting me, and it's hard to explain what the rain feels like. It feels like getting hit by an airsoft gun all over, which I understand some airsoft guns really hurt. This situation, it's not bad. I mean, yeah, it kind of hurts. It's more of like a tingle, like a sting, not, and it's only for like a second. But it kind of feels like your limbs falling asleep, how it starts feeling like something poking, and then it just like goes numb. It feels like the first stage where you're feeling poking. Good trick, if you turn your helmet to the side, it'll push water off. Luckily, a lot of people are very understanding when it comes to motorcyclists in the rain. Like, they sat behind me, didn't try passing or anything. Very courteous. And I'm greatly appreciative of that. It's the small things that most people don't think of that make the world of a difference to us motorcyclists. And I'm going to point stuff like that out because I understand a lot of people that are going to watch videos about motorcyclists and motovlogging. A lot of them... Give me a sec. My helmet's starting to fog. Alright, now I'm down to just sunglasses. I don't mind getting a little wet, but when I was looking, I didn't think I'd ever get one. I wanted one really bad, and I mapped out a way for me to get the exact one I want, and of course, knowing me, I didn't stick to it. It's still on my bucket list of bikes. Currently, I have two, and I'll probably keep this one as well because this one's done me well over the years. If I can find my first one again, she'll be back on the bucket list, and she'll be a forever bike. She went out to College Station. It was a XL 250R, white, beautiful bike, 1986. I got the VIN for it at the house. I kept track of the VIN to every vehicle I own. It just takes me a minute to find them. So like that bike, I have the original insurance paperwork. Insurance was like $7 for that thing. So of course I love that bike. This one's $17, which $10 doesn't sound like a lot, but it's like $107 a year. Or it's more than that. I pay $17 a year, so I'm not good at math. I don't know what's $170 a year, basically, and maybe a little bit more to do the change. I think it's like 17, 19. Not a whole lot, but enough to matter. But if rain bothers you on a bike, that's perfectly okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, y'all saw the way I just did that turn. I definitely could have... I can go through these turns a lot hotter than I am, but I don't want to risk going down, so I'm going to take it easy. Low speed maneuvers, drag rear brake. Don't drag a rear brake in a turn. Downshift and just ease off the clutch. It'll slow you down a little. If you're just trying to lose a little bit of speed, let off slightly on the throttle. It's small stuff you learn as you ride, and it'll become second nature. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. Like, yeah, there's a lot of controls to handle all at once, but it becomes a second nature. Like, I can hop on almost any bike and know how to ride it. It may take me a minute to get used to it. I'm used to a sport bike. I mean, I rode a FZ07 at work the other day. Yeah, it was different. It felt a lot different, but it's still a motorcycle. It's just like the Harley I rode the other day, the dirt bike I rode the other day. You gotta learn how to control that bike. So like my bike's of course not gonna ride like a Grom. Then again, my bike's also not gonna ride anything like a Harley. I mean, now, believe it or not, a Grom is pretty comparable to the FZ07. I say that because the way they feel. Not the power, not the design, it's the feel of them. They're the same style. It's kind of like a full dress bagger. It's going to feel a lot like a Goldwing or a Victory. And it's just part of the design. It's... none of it ever has to do with power when I talk about stuff like this, but the weight distribution's close to the same. Like, they feel heavy. When it comes to sport bikes, a lot of them are lower center of gravity. I mean, but yeah, this is what it's like riding in the rain. It's not bad. Last time it rained, I actually dropped my bike. I was pulling through my yard and the front tire slid. and dumped it on me. Well, not on me, but dumped it. It happens. It's okay. If you're going to ride in the rain, I strongly suggest at low speeds coming to like stop signs and stuff, drag the rear brake. And don't be afraid to crawl. Like, that's perfectly fine. Like, I take my turns slow because this bike has a lot of power. If I hit that turn hard, I'm probably going to lay it down. Now, I'm not afraid to get up to speed, but there's no sense in risking it. I'm just going home. There's nothing special about it, no rush. I'm just taking my time. People wave at me. I can't really wave back right now. It's funny that a lot of people wave at you going into a turn or over bumps. And if you can't wave, don't feel like you're a bad person. So like there's a lot of times I can't wave at people because I'm mid-turn or something and I'm not prepared. I'm not saying that I can't let go mid-turn. I'm just saying I'm not used to it, so I don't plan for it. I plan on both my hands being on the bars and turns. Ooh, I felt the bike move. But you gotta understand your limits and don't be afraid to push yourself past them, but find the right situation. So like right now, it's probably about 3-ish. Some people are getting off work. As you can see, I'm passing a lot of people. So, of course, I'm not going to push myself past my limit right now. That'd put me at more risk. But, like, if I'm on a back road that no one ever goes down in the middle of the day where everyone's at work, I'll push myself a little bit. Not enough that I know it's past my limit, but enough to push my limit a little out of my comfort zone. So like going up to the speed limit on this back road. There's dry patches. I can definitely slow down if I need to. And I know this road, but I'm not going to be doing 50 on the turns like I normally do. Like right here, I typically hit about 50. I hit a 30. You got to understand your limits and work with your limits, not against them. That's how people get hurt. And I'm not saying down the road you can't really push your limits, but starting out, get used to the bike, learn it. If you get opportunity to ride other bikes, not like dealership bikes, but like your buddies, if they offer, hey, you want to ride my bike? Do it. Even if it's not a kind of bike you ever plan on owning. My buddy's got a Main Street 1200. I'm never going to own one. I'm not fond of cruisers. But that bike's the one that taught me that. Like, I get the purpose of them, and I understand it. I understand why people like them. They just don't feel right to me. And there's nothing wrong with that. I like sport bikes. But you're always gonna have that one buddy, like for my instance, I have buddies that they ride like full dress baggers and stuff like that. And Indian Scouts, Chiefs, a handful of Harleys, a couple Softails, Hardtails. None of them have crotch rockets, and they get a wild hair every now and then and want to ride a bike like mine. So we'll trade keys, and I'll take theirs around the block, they'll take mine around the block. Most of my friends I trust enough to just toss my keys and tell them have at it for a weekend. And that's just, I don't think I should have people around me I don't trust like that. Like if I lay my bike over and say I break my leg and I have to call somebody to come get the bike or they're going to put it in impound, I can call anyone. The only person that's off limits for me is my brother, apparently. He won't ride, and that's perfectly fine. He's considering getting a Corvette Stingray. And, well, I've seen some of the ones he looked at. They're beautiful. I'm big on classic cars. I've been real tempted to go Cars and Coffee meet. I just haven't. But it's a beautiful day out, even though it did rain. Limits are limits. if you push yourself past them, you're risking. For most people, I'm way past their limit. Most of them won't even ride their bike if there's a chance of rain. Me, on the other hand, I've rode in the rain multiple times. I've been caught in hailstorms, downpours, never a hurricane. I just never been around it. I've been caught in just about everything you could think of, minus hurricanes or tornadoes. I've rode through like deep puddles of water that went up to about my knees. Well, that was my last bike, not this one. It was a dual sport. I've done jumps with my old one and this one. I haven't wheelied this one. I'm not ready. Eventually I will be. I'm just not there yet. When I do get there, y'all be the first ones to see it. This road's real rough for bikers. If it's not perfect, like if your bike's not perfect or there's something loose on your bike, you can see all the little water lines. That's grooves in the road. It'll try to take your bike. So like there, it'll take you to the right. This one's not bad, but like it'll walk your bike across the road. Also, if you do ride in the rain, be careful of puddles. Not because the puddle's gonna wipe you out, it's what's the puddle's covering. Like a lot of those were potholes. I just know that because I ride this every day, but a lot of people don't. Try to stick to roads you know in the rain if you have no other choice. Don't hesitate to call somebody for a ride. That's the biggest thing.